Welcome to Fabloria, where we listen, we relax, and we enjoy timeless fairy tale stories. In a vast and flourishing land surrounded by rolling hills and guarded by distant mountains, there stood a grand fortress built of pale stone. From its high towers, one could see far across valleys, rivers, and villages that thrived under the rule of a thoughtful but deeply concerned king. King Aldrich was respected throughout the realm for his fairness and wisdom. He listened carefully to his people and ruled with patience rather than cruelty. Yet, despite the prosperity of his kingdom, a heavy burden weighed upon his heart, a mystery that troubled him night after night. The cause of his unrest was not war, nor rebellion, nor famine. It was his 12 daughters. Each princess was remarkable in her own way. The eldest, Princess Marianne, possessed a calm authority and quiet strength that often made her seem older than her years. She carried responsibility naturally, watching over her younger sisters with care. The youngest, Princess Eliza, sparkled with youthful curiosity and endless questions, her laughter echoing through the castle halls. Between them were 10 sisters, each distinct in temperament and talent, some thoughtful and reserved, others bold and lively. Together, they were the pride of the kingdom and the joy of their father's life. Yet for all their grace and virtue, the princesses shared a secret they refused to reveal. Every morning, without exception, the same strange discovery awaited the king. At the foot of each princess's bed lay a pair of delicate dancing slippers, completely destroyed. Soles worn through, heels cracked, silk torn beyond repair. No cobbler could explain how such damage occurred in a single night. This would not have been so alarming if the king had not taken every possible precaution. Each evening, the princesses were escorted to their shared sleeping chamber. Their attendants withdrew, and King Aldrich himself locked the heavy door with an iron key. Guards stood watch outside until sunrise. No one entered, no one left. And yet, by dawn, the slippers were ruined once more. At first, the king believed his daughters were playing a harmless trick. When he questioned them, they smiled politely and denied any wrongdoing. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The damage continued. Fear slowly replaced confusion. The king began to wonder whether dark forces were at work. Something unseen that might one day steal his daughters away forever. Driven by desperation, King Aldrich made a bold announcement throughout the land. He declared that any man who could uncover the truth of where his daughters went each night and how their slippers were destroyed would be rewarded with one princess as his wife and the future crown of the kingdom. But there was a price for failure. Any man who attempted the task and failed after 3 nights would lose his life. Brave noblemen and confident princes arrived from distant lands. They boasted of intelligence, strength, and courage. One by one, they accepted the challenge. Each was given a chamber beside the princess's room and instructed to observe carefully. Each night, the sisters visited the observer and offered him a cup of dark wine. And each morning, the same fate awaited. the man would be found unconscious, unable to explain anything. The slippers would be destroyed. The truth would remain hidden. Fear spread quickly. Soon, no one dared attempt the challenge. The castle grew quiet, and the king's hope began to fade. Far from the palace, a former soldier named Thomas wandered the roads in search of purpose. He had served his country faithfully and had been released from duty with honor but little reward. He possessed no noble title, only sharp instincts, patience, and a strong sense of justice. When Thomas heard whispers of the king's proclamation, he felt something stir within him. Not ambition, but curiosity. Along a lonely forest path, he encountered an elderly woman leaning on a crooked staff. Her eyes were sharp, her voice calm. "Where are you headed, traveler?" she asked. "To the king's fortress," Thomas replied. "I intend to uncover the secret of his daughters." She studied him for a long moment before drawing a folded cloak from beneath her shawl. The fabric shimmered faintly. "This garment will hide you from sight, but remember, do not drink the wine the princesses offer. It will steal your awareness." Thomas accepted the cloak with gratitude. When he turned to thank her again, she was gone. Upon reaching the castle, Thomas was met with laughter and doubt. A common soldier seemed an unlikely hero, but King Aldrich, weary of disappointment, allowed him to try. The princesses greeted him courteously. Princess Marianne stepped forward, her expression composed. "May your stay be peaceful," she said. That night, the sisters brought Thomas the familiar cup. He pretended to drink, secretly discarding the contents. He lay still, breathing slowly. Hours passed. At midnight, soft sounds echoed through the chamber walls. Thomas draped the cloak over himself just as hidden stones shifted aside. A secret staircase emerged, descending deep beneath the castle. Invisible, he followed. Below lay a vast underground world illuminated by glowing crystals. First came a forest where silver leaves shimmered like moonlight. Thomas snapped a twig as proof, causing brief unease among the sisters. Beyond it stood a grove of golden branches, warm and radiant. He took another piece. Then came a forest that sparkled like stars frozen in glass. At the edge of an underground lake, lanterns floated gently upon the water. 12 boats waited, each guided by a mysterious prince clad in deep blue garments. Thomas slipped into the boat with Princess Marianne. The boat's guide frowned, sensing extra weight, but said nothing. Across the lake rose a palace of impossible beauty. Inside, the princesses danced tirelessly until their slippers fell apart. Before dawn, Thomas gathered further proof and returned unseen. This continued for 3 nights. On the 3rd morning, Thomas stood before the king and revealed everything. The sisters confessed the truth at last. A curse placed upon their bloodline forced them to dance each night in the underground realm until someone uncovered the secret without falling into enchanted sleep. The moment the truth was spoken aloud, the enchantment shattered. The underground world vanished forever. King Aldrich offered Thomas his reward. He chose Princess Marianne. Together they ruled wisely, and the kingdom flourished in peace. And never again were ruins slippers found.